Welcome to the lecture series in computer science. We are seeing a series of lectures in the subject problem solving and Python programming. This subject is for the students studying in their BE BTech degree program, and this subject belongs to the first semester of the degree program. It has a subject code of GE 8151. In today's session, we will be seeing the difference between algorithm, pseudocode and flowchart with suitable examples. My dear viewers, we have already seen in detail about the algorithm, about the flowchart, about the pseudocode. Now, we will take certain examples. We will look at how to make a comparative analysis between an algorithm, flowchart and the pseudocode with suitable examples. Now, as the contents of today's session are, we will be seeing the examples on to find the area of a rectangle, to find the area and circumference of a circle, to calculate the simple interest, to calculate the engineering cutoff, to find the greatest of two numbers, to check whether an year is a leap year or not, to check whether a number is positive or negative, to check whether a number is odd or even, and we will find the factorial for a given number. So, we will be seeing the examples with respect to algorithm, flowchart and pseudocode. We have seen it separately in the earlier sessions. Now, we are going to combine it with the above said examples. As a first example, the area of rectangle. Now, this is how it is, the algorithm, flowchart and pseudocode. As an algorithm, what do you need to do? What is the question? The question is to find area of rectangle. My dear viewers, what is the area of rectangle? Area of rectangle is said to be L into B, length into breadth. Area of rectangle is said to be length multiplied by breadth. So, how do you write the algorithm? As you are aware, the algorithms you write it in terms of steps. The first step should have a start or begin. The last step should have a stop or end. So, here it is. In step number 1, you have start. In step number 2, you are supposed to get the values of length and breadth of a rectangle. Then only you can find out the area of a rectangle. So, you are getting the values of length, values of breadth, and step number 3 determines the calculation step. What is the formula for area of rectangle? I said it is length multiplied by breadth. So, calculate area, the variable A equal to L into B. Then, now you are going to display the calculated value. So, display A and stop. Now, my dear viewers, we will make a comparative analysis of the algorithm that has been seen with respect to a flowchart. So, when you are going to give a start over here, what is the equivalent symbol in a flowchart? It is a oval symbol. The start and stop should have a oval symbol. So, you have a oval symbol. Now, in the algorithm, when you are going to get the values of L and B, length and breadth, how do you get it? What is the symbol in flowchart? It is parallelogram. So, for getting the input and for displaying the output, the symbol used is parallelogram. Parallelogram is, this is the symbol. So, you are reading the values of L and B or getting the values of L and B. Then, the third step in an algorithm determines calculate A equal to area equal to length into breadth, L into B. Now, what is the symbol used in the flowchart? For calculating, it is the rectangle. So, it is the rectangular box. For doing any kind of procedures, it is a rectangle. So, A equal to L into B. Then, what do you do in the fourth step in the algorithm? You are displaying the value of A. What is the symbol used for displaying? As I said, for getting the input, for displaying the output, the symbol used is parallelogram. So you are printing the value of A. Then step number 5 determines stop. What is the symbol used for stop? It is again the oval symbol. So my dear viewers, as far as the flowchart is concerned, for start and stop, you use the symbol oval. For getting the input, for getting the output, you use the symbol parallelogram. For doing procedures, you use the symbol rectangle, and then you compute like this. This is a sample flowchart to determine the length and breadth, to determine the area of a rectangle. After seeing this flowchart, now let us see how to write the pseudocode based on this algorithm, based on the flowchart that has been written. Now, in a pseudocode, again, you are supposed to start with begin or start, end with either stop or end. So begin, you have begun. Now after beginning, you are supposed to get the values of L and B. So what is the keyword that is used as far as pseudocode is concerned? What is a pseudocode, my dear viewers? Pseudocode determines false code. It is a sort of code. It is a false code. It is not the real code. So here, when you want to get the values of inputs of the length and breadth, you are reading. So read L and B. Then how do you calculate it? So you use this calculate area equal to the variable name. I have kept the variable name for area as A. So A, I am equating it to length multiplied by breadth, which is said to be the formula. Display A. After calculating, I am displaying the value of A. And then if I am going to use a begin in pseudocode, I need to end the process. So begin, after calculating, after displaying, I am ending the process. So this is how the area of a rectangle has been worked out. Now, as a next example, we will see how to find the area and circumference of a circle. What is the formula for finding the area of a circle? It is pi r square. What is the formula for finding the circumference of a circle? It is 2 pi r. What is the value of pi? It is either 22/7 or 3.14. So now let us see how to write an algorithm with respect to this finding of area and circumference of a circle. Here, step 1 is start, step 2 is get the radius value r. Now to find the area, the formula is said to be pi r square. So the value of pi is known as 3.14. The r value you are supposed to get it. So you are getting the value of r, you are calculating it, calculate area equal to pi value is 3.14 multiplied by r into r. So you have, if you have got the value of r, you substitute the value of r over here. So pi into r into r, 3.14 into r into r, and then this is for calculating the area. Now we are supposed to calculate the circumference of a circle too. So what is the formula for circumference of a circle? It is 2 pi r. So 2 into pi value is 3.14 into r. So now in step 5 you are displaying A and C. Then in step 6 you are stopping it. So my dear viewers, let us draw the flowchart for this area and circumference of a circle. Here, as I said, the start and stop symbol should have a symbol called oval symbol. So start is determined with oval. Here the last stop is determined with an oval. Now these arrow marks are said to be the flow graphs, the flow of control. So after start, what is the second step in algorithm? You are getting the value of r. So here you are going to read the input of r, or you are going to get the value of r. So what is the symbol that is used for reading and writing? It is the parallelogram symbol. So get r. Then to calculate the area formula, pi r square, 3.14 into r into r. Calculate the circumference of a circle, it is 2 pi r, 2 into 3.14 into r. So circumference equal to 2 into 3.14 into r. Now you are going to print. The symbol for printing is, it is parallelogram again. So print A comma C, then stop. Now let us find how to write the pseudocode for this area and circumference of a circle. You have begin. To start with, you are supposed to give a begin. Read the value of r. Read r. Then calculate A and C. Then A equal to 3.14 into r. Circumference equal to 2 into 3.14 into r. And you are going to display the value of, print the value of A and C. So display A comma C, or whatever it has been asked, A comma C, then end. So this is how you are supposed to write the pseudocode, the algorithm, the flowchart and the pseudocode. In this case, you are calculating the area of displaying A comma C. Okay. The next problem is to find the simple interest. My dear viewers, what is the formula for simple interest? To calculate the simple interest, it is SI, simple interest, equal to principal into number of years into the rate of interest whole divided by 100, which is nothing but simple interest equal to PNR by 100. So here in the algorithm, we will see how to write the algorithm. Step 1 is start. Step 2 is you are getting the value of P, N and R. Now step 3 is to calculate the value for simple interest. The formula used is PNR by 100, which is nothing but P multiplied by N multiplied by R whole divided by 100. So the P is said to be the principal, N is said to be the number of years the deposit has been made, R is said to be the rate of interest per annum and whole divided by 100. So the next step was to display the calculated simple interest. So display S or SI. So it should be SI. Then step 5 is stop. Now let us see how the flowchart has been written. You are giving start. You are getting the value of P, N and R. To get the input, the symbol used is the parallelogram. You are calculating. The symbol used is the rectangle. So the symbol used for calculations, for doing any kind of procedural operations, it is the rectangle. So SI equal to P into N into R whole divided by 100. So you are printing the value of SI with a symbol called parallelogram again. Then you stop it with an oval symbol. Now let us see how to write the pseudocode. You are beginning, then you are reading P, N and R. You can, my dear viewers, you can put this read P comma N comma R in the second line also. So begin, you are reading the value of P, N and R. You are calculating SI. SI equal to P into N into R to whole divided by 100. So you are displaying SI, then N. So this is how a simple interest is being calculated. Now let us see the next program to calculate the engineering cutoff. My dear viewers, to get engineering admissions, everyone knows that you need to have a cutoff, and let us determine how to calculate the engineering cutoff. To calculate the engineering cutoff, you need to have to join an engineering study degree program. You should have studied 3 different subjects, 3 important subjects. One is called as the physics, second subject is chemistry, third subject is mathematics. So in which the physics and chemistry, you will be dividing it by 4, and mathematics you will be dividing it by 2. Why you are going to divide it by 4? It is because overall it will be somewhere around 200. So out of 200, what is your mark? So for each and every subject you are going to, physics 200 if you are written for 200, chemistry if you are written for 200, maths if you are written for 200. Physics and chemistry you combine it, maths you take it separately and then you add it. So this is how you do the calculation. So now let us determine how to write an algorithm, flowchart and pseudocode to calculate the engineering cutoff. The first step is, as usual, you have a start. So when you have a start, determine or have a reminder. If you are going to give a start, definitely you need to have a stop. Always in a flowchart too, if you are going to have a start, you need to have a stop. Always in your pseudocode too, if you are going to have a begin, you need to have an end. So the first step is algorithm. Start, get the physics mark, chemistry mark, maths mark as integer values, right? Then you are calculating. The formula for calculating is the cutoff, which is equal to physics mark divided by 4 plus chemistry mark divided by 4 plus maths mark divided by 2. So now you are displaying the cutoff, you are stopping it. Now let us see how the flowchart has been written. Start, you get the physics, chemistry, maths marks. The cutoff formula is, which is determined with a rectangular symbol, which is determined with a rectangular symbol. So the cutoff equal to P by 4 plus C by 4 plus M by 2. Now you are printing the cutoff, which is determined with a parallelogram symbol. My dear viewers, if you are going to change the symbol, your entire flowchart will become wrong. So see to that you are drawing it correctly. For begin and end, for start and stop, it is oval symbol. For getting the input and output, it is parallelogram symbol. For doing any kind of computation, it is the rectangle symbol. So you are printing the cutoff, you are stopping it. Now let us see how to write the pseudocode. Begin, read physics mark, chemistry mark and maths mark. Calculate cutoff equal to P by 4 plus C by 4 plus M by 2. Physics mark divided by 4, addition, chemistry mark divided by 4, addition, maths mark divided by 2. And then I am displaying the cutoff. Then as I have started with begin, I am supposed to end this pseudocode with an end. Then let us see the next program to find the greatest of two numbers. So if you want to find the greatest of two numbers, what do you need? You need two values. You need an A value, you need a B value. Then only you can find which number is said to be the bigger one. So here, as usual, you have a start. When you have a start, at the last you have a stop. You have a start, you are getting the input of two numbers A and B. Now you are supposed to check whether the first value A is greater than B. If the value A is greater than B, then you are printing the value of A. If the value of A is less than B, then you are printing the value of B and you are saying B is greater. If A is greater than B, A value is greater than B, you say the value A is greater. Else, if A value is smaller than B, you say the value B is greater and then you stop. Now let us see how to write the flowchart. My dear viewers, till the previous example, you are seeing only three different symbols. One was using an oval for short and stop. Second one was using a parallelogram for getting an input and for printing the output. Third one was doing computation using a rectangle. Now here in this example, you will be seeing one other symbol called a diamond sign. A diamond symbol is used to make decisions. So start, you get the value of A and B. If A is greater than B, if A is greater than B, if it is so, if yes, then you print it as A is greater or A is the greatest because you have only two values, or A is bigger. If A is less than B, A value is lesser when compared to B, then it comes to the no part. Then you type it as B is greatest. Then you stop it. So this is how you write the flowchart. In flowchart, here in this example, you have a start symbol, oval symbol, stop symbol, oval symbol. For getting the input, it is parallelogram. For printing the output, it is parallelogram. For making decision, my dear viewers, kindly listen carefully. For making decision, it is the diagonal, it is the diamond sign. So in the diamond sign, if the decision is to be correct, then it goes over here. Wherein in decision symbol, you have two different leads. One lead determines the positive, second lead determines the else part. So this is how you are supposed to write the flowchart. Now let us see how to determine the pseudocode. You begin, read the value of A and B. If is a keyword. In pseudocode, if is a keyword. If A greater than B, then is a keyword. Display A is greater. Else, display B is greater. Since you have used an if, in pseudocode, my dear viewers, kindly pay attention. In pseudocode, since you have used an keyword if, you are supposed to end the keyword if with one other keyword called end if. And since you have used begin, you are supposed to close it with end. Till the previous example, you have seen begin and end. But whereas in this example, begin, after begin you are reading the value of A and B. Then you give a condition by using a keyword called if. If A is greater than B, then you are displaying A is greater, else you are displaying B as greater. As you have used the keyword called if, you are supposed to close it with a keyword called end if. Then end. End is to end the pseudocode. So this is how we are supposed to find the greatest of two numbers. The next example determines to find whether an year is said to be a leap year or not. In this example, the algorithm determines start, step 1 start, step 2 determines you are getting the value of the year, step 3 determines y mod 4 which is equal to 0. My dear viewers, what does the symbol mod determine? What is a leap year? If the year is divided by divisible by 4 or by 400, it is said to be a leap year. Wherein examples are 2000 is a leap year, 2004 is a leap year, 2008 is a leap year, 2012 is a leap year, 2016 is a leap year, 2020 is a leap year. These things are divisible by 4 and 400. So here this symbol mod, kindly make a note, this symbol mod determines there is no remainder at all. That is called as y mod 4 equal to 0. It prints, if it is equal to 0, if there is no remainder, it prints it is leap year. Then the step 4, else it prints it is not a leap year. Step 5 says stop. My dear viewers, when you are writing this algorithm, write it in sequential order. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Step 1 is start, step 2 determines get the value of year, step 3 determines if y mod 4 equal to 0, print leap year. Step 4 determines else, print not a leap year. Step 5 determines stop. After printing leap year, it should go to step 5, which means to stop. Now let us see how to write the flowchart for this. Start, you are getting the value of the year. If the year is year mod, you are getting the value of year. If the year is less than, if the year mod 4 is equal to 0, then you are printing the leap year. This is how you write. You start, then you get the value of year, then you check yes y mod 4 equal to 0. If it is yes, you print leap year. If no, not a leap year, then you make it a stop. This is how you write the flowchart. Then as far as pseudocode is concerned, you begin, you read y. If y mod 4 equal to 0, then display it as a leap year, else display it is not a leap year, then you end. Since you have used this if, you are supposed to use end f, and then since you have used begin, you are supposed to end it with end. So this is how you write this leap year program. Now next is about to check whether a number is positive or negative. Here again, start, get number, check if number is greater than 0, print it is positive, else print number is negative, stop. Here it is, start, get the value of n, yes n is greater than 0, print it as positive, else print it as negative, then stop. In pseudocode again, begin, read the number, if number is greater than 0, then display number is positive, else display number is negative. My dear viewers, if you have used if, you are supposed to end it with an end f, then if you use begin, you are supposed to use end. Now let us see next example is to calculate the sum of a given number. Here it is, to start, to get the n value, you set the initial value of I equal to 1 and you initialize sum, the variable as 0, then you check the I value, that is 1. If 1 is less than or equal to n determines if there are 4 values. So the n determines 4, 1 is less than or equal to 4, then go to step 5, else go to step 8. What is step 5? Step 5 equal to calculate sum equal to sum plus I, which is nothing but sum initialized to 0, so 0 plus 1. Then you are incrementing the value of I to the next level, so I becomes I plus 1. So then again you go to step 4, you are checking whether I is less than or equal to n, less than or equal to 4. So now I becomes 2, so it is going on as like this till 4 becomes 4, and when even 4 becomes 4 will get executed, but when the I value becomes 5, it condition becomes false, so it comes out to step 8. Step 8 it is to print the sum value and it will stop. Here it is, start, you get the value of n, you initialize the two variables I, the incrementer variable as 1, the summation value as initially as 0. If I is less than or equal to n, if it is yes, then you print sum equal to sum plus I or I equal to I plus 1. If the value of I becomes greater than n, then it prints the sum, then it stops. To write the pseudocode, begin, get n, initialize I equal to 1, sum equal to 0, while I is less than or equal to n, do. My dear viewers, when you are using while, you are supposed to use do. Do sum equal to sum plus I equal to I plus 1. My dear viewers, again, when you are using while, you are supposed to use end while. You are printing the sum, and then since you have used begin, you are ending it. The last example is to determine the factorial of a number. What is factorial? Factorial of 5, which is nothing but factorial of 5 determines 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So to start, it is nothing but 5 4s are 20, 23s are 60, 62s are 120. The value of factorial of 5 is 120. So start, you get n equal to n value, set the initial value I equal to 1, set the factorial variable name and initialize it to 1. You check the I value now, the I value is 1. If I is less than or equal to n, then you go to step 5, else you are going to step 8. Step 8 determines the factorial value, step 5 determines fact equal to fact into I, and then the increment the value of I by 1 and then you are printing it. This is how you write the flow chart and the pseudocode. Let us summarize this session. We have seen the examples of the area of a rectangle, area and circumference of a circle, to calculate the simple interest, to calculate the engineering cutoff, to find, we found the greatest of two numbers, we found how to check a leap year and how to check whether a number is positive or negative, how to check whether a number is odd or even, and then we concluded this session by seeing the factorial of a given number example. Thank you.